Alright, these fucking heroes.
These fucking heroes.
Woo, these fucking guys.
This is an extension of these effing guys.
Woo!
And this is an individually downloadable segment.
Yep.
These effing heroes by these effing guys.
Oh, my voice is done on shit.
Straight out of, I didn't introduce this in the beginning of the show either. We're straight out of Smokehouse Studios in Louisville, Kentucky.
Ooh!
I realized that I said that as if I weren't confident about it or sure of it, but believe me, we're sitting here.
Smokehouse Studios.
Yes, we're in Smokehouse Studios, Louisville, Kentucky, River City. It's all right. How do you don't personally live in Louisville, Kentucky, but how do you like it? Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing.
I'm pretty much like this region is like the armpit of America. This is where Trump comes to get all his goddamn votes.
Speaking of votes, we had a vote recently on this segment, these effing heroes, about what personality and what crazy interaction or what heroic interaction we were going to feature on this one. And I got to tell you, for those of you who haven't heard this segment before, occasionally and very rarely there will be just wild things that no one's heard about.
Yeah, we'll talk about some dumb shit.
Yeah, wild stuff. But by and large, this segment is about pumping you up.
Woo!
Giving you heroic
is that what it is in my
action.
time?
Yeah, heroic actions by heroic people. These could be historical figures. These could be contemporary figures. Mainly historical, I think, because once it's last week, it's last week. That's history now. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, like the guy, damn Daniel, back at it again with the white vans. You remember that? You don't remember that? Damn Daniel. You don't remember that guy?
No.
You know about that? Yeah, that guy, the damn Daniel guy.
Damn Daniel.
Very, very big in his prime. In 2 minutes or 30 seconds or whatever a Vine clip was, that all those damn Daniels were put out. This was like a series. For the people that don't know, this was a series that was put out, I think, on Vine. And it was about a guy named Daniel. And his friend would videotape Daniel or, record Daniel on his cell phone at the high school or wherever they were. But he had just doing whatever he was doing. It's no big deal. It's not like he lit off firecrackers in his ass or anything like that.
Right.
It was just Daniel doing whatever he was doing.
Right.
And this guy
walking down the hall, Daniel.
Right. He's narrating. He's saying, "Damn, Daniel." He's living his life. So this guy at one point is walking in. I think it may be walking inside the high school. No big deal. Just whatever regular interaction that you have or place that you go. And this guy says, "Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the white vans." and his vans were white, and they were clean.
Shoes.
They were looking great.
Nice.
And that blew up. This damn Daniel blew up.
How'd I miss that?
Oh, Good Morning America. It was
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, Daniel and the videographer, they were on there both talking about the skits. Nothing to them at all. I would love to see if they came out like the I think there's a name for the group, but the kids that were in the shootings in Florida.
Oh, the Parkland.
Yeah, the Parkland 5 or whatever their group is called.
Right.
I would love to see this guy and Damn Daniel come out as their own group. Protesting a constitutional right to wear Vans and be back at it again with said Vans.
You need to stop drinking.
I think that's true. Or I need to.
Is Dan Daniel our hero, our effing hero?
Damn Daniel is not our hero, actually. And when we were coming into this segment, these effing heroes, we were coming to it from our original first act on the main show. So we poked and prodded and teased this segment, as we always do. But I think the question was put to me, who is it this week? What is it this week?
Yeah, what's the fucking deal yet?
I don't remember if those that poking and prodding was on a recording, but I evaded the answer to that question because I wanted it to be a surprise.
Correct.
And now I'm going to have to reveal that surprise in order for the show to move forward.
Yeah, here we are.
This week, extremely controversial, I think. And this...
please tell me it's Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, the piece that I'm going to deliver to you guys...
This is something that
some people know about. I can't even guess a percentage of the involved parties that actually know about this piece of information.
Okay.
This is a story of a heroic endeavor and an example of Americans being Americans and taking care of each other.
Ooh, something lost on society today.
Yeah, and I'm glad you say that because this act of this effing hero, it's Donald Trump. It's Donald J. Trump. This is very controversial. I understand.
Crickets.
A lot of these the people that listen to our show.
Now I know why you didn't want to fucking tell me.
Yeah.
Not a motherfucking thing.
They're not. Yeah, this pains Daximus Prime, and I knew that. That's why I didn't say anything. And I think a lot of the people that listen to the show, it also pains them. But you guys need to open your fucking ears. Really need to open your ears.
All right, make your pitch, motherfucker, but just know that every time from this point on when that name comes up, I'm going hard.
There's no pitch to make. I'm actually, and I really gotta emphasize, I don't know if I've said it before, that I am a Trump supporter. However, I am not unfamiliar with who and what Donald Trump is.
Which is a fucking oxymoron in itself, but continue.
When I was 12, 13 years old, I started developing heroes, people I wanted to model my life after.
That's a good thing.
Rambo was the biggest,
Woo!
by far. Rambo was the biggest by far. Biggest influence on my life, I think.
Wow.
As far as musicians, Pantera spoke to me the most.
This guy's
out
hardcore.
of anyone else.
This guy's hardcore.
As far as if you think about strategy, you think about Niccolo Machiavelli that we spoke about in our last episode when Da Vinci was trying to steal that river, partner up with this guy. Right. And listen to what I just said: steal that fucking river.
Yeah, take that shit.
Yeah, if you didn't hear that, you've got to go back and listen to that Da Vinci steals a river episode of these effing guys. You got to hear this shit.
Real talk.
People need to know. But this segment also, when you think in my life, anyways, when I go to make deals, to make negotiations, to get things done, the guy I have in mind is Donald Trump.
Donald fucking Trump. Well, whatever. I mean, success is success, so let's fucking hear it.
So ever since I was a teenager, I've read Donald Trump's books. It's not that I know him from The Apprentice. I know him long before that.
Right.
I've had these books. I've even read his golf books.
He was in the public eye long before The Apprentice.
Right. I'm not even talking about Donald Trump, the president. It's not about that. You know, rappers have tons and tons of songs talking about how they're going to be Donald Trump or they're going after Donald Trump.
Yeah. That's a conversation I want to have.
Get those kind of billions.
Yeah. Money, chase paper and everything else. You know, nothing else matters. Paper.
So there's an excerpt from his first book, The Art of the Deal.
Paper.
I'm not sure. I believe this was published in 1987. The issue that we're going to be speaking about is from 1986.
Woo!
I was telling Daximus before we went on the air, if you have not read The Art of the Deal, Trump's first book, and whether or not you are a supporter, I guess if you're not a supporter, you're not going to read it, and that's cool. But if you are a supporter, you know, and you read books, The Art of the Deal, it's just a good book. Like if you're a person that's interested in the minutia of deals,
I will say
working out contracts, there's a lot of that in it. There's a lot of detail regarding, legal, commercial law, things like that, public administration. It's very interesting if you're a nerd that way.
As a confessed Democrat, how you describe the book is very, how do you say? Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would give it a read.
So the first section of this book is a Monday through Friday schedule It's everything that Donald Trump had on the books and who he called and what conversations they had and what they decided to work out on this or that deal. And I had to go back because I haven't read this in so long. So this is the part where These Effing Heroes comes in. All right, this is Monday.
So Donald Trump is our first These Effing Hero?
He's the second. Leonardo da Vinci was the
first. Da Vinci was the first. Okay, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, this is... He doesn't specifically lay out dates for which week this is in 1986.
86.
But this is a week
Go Mets.
in his schedule of 1986. This is a Monday. This is 10 o'clock a.m. And this is the best way to describe this segment, is to read it directly from this book. And despite how Trump puts out, bullshit on Twitter all the time.
Hey,
you can't
as long
argue.
as you understand that as fact.
There's a lot of bullshit. But I'll get to this later, why this is good. This is all good info. Monday, 10 o'clock a.m. I called Don Imus to thank him. Imus has one of the most successful radio shows in the United States on WNBC, and he's been helping to raise money for the Annabelle Hill Fund. I'm amazed at how this has snowballed into such a media event. It began last week when I saw a national news report by Tom Brokaw about this adorable little lady from Georgia, Mrs. Hill, who was trying to save her farm from being foreclosed. Her 67-year-old husband had committed suicide a few weeks earlier, hoping that his life insurance would save the farm, which had been in the family for generations. But the insurance proceeds weren't nearly enough. It was a very sad situation, and I was moved. Here are people who had worked very hard and honestly all their lives, only to see it crumble before them. To me, it just seemed wrong. Through NBC, I was put in touch with a wonderful guy from Georgia named Frank Argenbright, who had become very involved in trying to help Miss Hill. And Frank directed me to the bank that held Mrs. Hill's mortgage. The next morning, I called and got some vice president on the line. I explained that I was a businessman from New York and I was interested in helping Mrs. Hill. He told me he was very sorry, but that it was too late. They were going to auction off the farm, and he said nothing or no one is going to stop it. And that really got me going. I said to the guy, "You listen to me. If you do foreclose, I'll personally bring a lawsuit for murder against you and your bank on the grounds that you harassed Mrs. Hill's husband to his death." Ooh. All of a sudden, the bank officer sounded very nervous and said he'd get right back to me. Sometimes it pays to be a little wild. An hour later, I got a call back from the banker, and he said, "Don't worry, we're going to work it out, Mr. Trump." Mrs. Hill and Frank Argenbright told the media, and the next thing I knew, it was the lead story on the network news. By the end of the week, we had raised $40,000. Imus alone raised almost $20,000 by appealing to his listeners. As a Christmas present to Mrs. Hill and her family, we had scheduled a mortgage burning ceremony for Christmas in the atrium of Trump Tower. By then, I'm confident we'll have raised all the money. I promised Mrs. Hill if we haven't, I'll make up any difference. I tell Imus he's the greatest, and I invited him to be my guest one day next week at the tennis matches at the U.S. Open. I have a courtside box, and I used to go myself almost every day. Now I'm too busy, so I mostly just send my friends.
You know, I appreciate that story.
That was it. This guy stepped in firsthand to take care of this situation. It was totally wrong. And the craziest thing for me was that I've known about this story for a long time. Long time.
I mean, it's a published story.
Well, it's become apparent that Trump is not always truthful when he tweets things out.
Correct.
Yeah. Sometimes exaggerates, I get that, but sometimes just completely lies.
Right.
You have no idea. So I was looking this up. I did my due diligence before I even brought this up on the broadcast, And I typed this in, and I'm like, Jesus, let this be true.
Oh,
Please don't let this be a lie.
here we go.
I searched through several media outlets that had looked into this situation and talked to Mrs. Hill long after the fact. And this is more than true.
Okay.
More than true.
Okay.
It's pretty impressive. In order for Trump didn't give all the details in that excerpt from The Art of the Deal, but when he called the bank originally, he had difficulty with this banker, and they would just not make him a deal. So what he did was he bought the mortgage. He just bought the mortgage.
He bought the mortgage outright.
Yeah, he put up what's called earnest money, which is when you buy any house. If you're a regular person buying a house,
escrow, if you will.
Yeah, sort of. You put up earnest money towards the cost of the house, and this earnest money means that you're serious. You're not going to back out, and you don't get that back. If you back out, that money's gone.
Yeah,
that earnest money.
Right.
And that's what he did. He made a deal with them. He made the earnest money. Yeah.
And he made it.
Yeah. He put up, I believe it was $40,000
on that farm
for the earnest payment. And in Albright, I believe that that's Frank Argenbright, he also had money raised, and then Imus.
Imus contributed $20,000.
Yeah. So Trump put up the initial money to buy out the mortgage. And then basically everyone contributed to the money that he had already paid.
Right.
So there were plans in place. This was not just...
But now, and I hate to be I'm not trying to shit on Donald Trump here, but this wasn't a Donald Trump mission. This was something that Donald Trump heard about through, did you say Imus was running the...
Don Imus, but actually, I said this was more than true. The multiple outlets that I looked into said that Frank Argenbright, this guy, was prominent in Georgia, not a political figure, maybe like a social figure, and he heard about the Hills, and he took this up. He put it in the media. And he was asking for people to help. And then Imus and Trump. Actually, I think Imus was the last piece of the puzzle. Okay. Trump saw Argenbright
however it gets done
on the news. They connected directly, and then got Imus involved after.
And Trump.
Yeah. Well, Trump and Argenbright connected directly. Argenbright was like how Obama was for Chicago, the social organizer.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this is what Argenbright was for Mrs. Hill
down
in Georgia.
Good.
Yeah. Like here in Louisville, we have Christopher X.
Christopher 2X. Yeah.
Christopher, yeah. Christopher 2X.
And I'm a fan of his. I'm going to put that out there.
What is it? Islam? Muslim? What is it?
I don't give a fuck. You're doing right by the people. I don't give a fuck what you claim, what you said is. Do right.
Yeah, here in town, this guy is a media spokesperson, and he looks out for community organizations.
Yes,
I don't know of any kind of
corruption.
Right. I don't know. I'm not trying to say anything.
No, this dude is not corrupt. What he does is show up in the middle of a big old shit show,
right,
and try to straighten it out.
He's kind of the mouthpiece, for his community. But that's not to say that he ignores what their needs are. But yeah, activists. Yeah, you'll see him on the news, though. Yeah, he's great at dealing with the news.
Is this what Ars Bars? What's his name? Argusboro? What?
Argenbright.
Argenbright. Yeah, is that what he does?
That's what he was in Georgia.
Oh, dope.
At that time.
Well, I mean, I will say that you seem to be pretty convinced this is true, and so if it is true, man, if you do good by another motherfucker, it's not political. You're doing right, and I appreciate you saying Trump's done some right things.
He's done a lot of good things, especially since he's been in office. And
so if he saves this farm, I will approve that he is.
Yeah, it's actually more fact than I thought it was to begin with, which surprised me. I thought a lot of this was going to be exaggerated and overblown. It turns out it's the other way around.
Well, I'm going to take another token and say if Trump did this, good on him. This is the America that we need to build. This is how we make America great again. Not by motherfucking telling motherfuckers they can't come over here. Not by telling motherfuckers what they can't do.
That was also exaggerated. I've looked into those quotes. Man, and I gotta say, regardless of what those quotes were, I really gotta say, Trump does lie when he puts out Twitter stuff.
Yeah. There's no denying.
There may be a reason behind it. I don't know, or maybe he's just that dumb.
What do you mean,
lies.
Man? I always assume manipulation before just complete dumb.
However, this is I'm not exclusively Republican or conservative. I voted for Obama 2 times. I gotta let our audience know
more than me. That's more than me.
But I gotta say, this is during this election and the events that happened after the election, and even what's been happening recently, late 2019. I have experienced the true meaning of fake news and propaganda more than I've ever experienced it.
Propaganda has been a relevant subject for the last few years. We're all questioning where we get our, as I say, news, but what we're really searching for is facts, and we're all having trouble discerning what the facts are.
Yeah, it's like I said, for these pieces, I read a lot of different articles. It's usually a minimum of 3, but it could be more than that. But even quotes could be a little bit off. Or when you read an article, they'll say something
or out of context.
Right, out of context, but also there'll be a twist where like the writer of the article is narrating the scene for you.
Yes.
Well, they weren't fucking there. How are they going to narrate the lighting that was going on in the room?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
This CIA agent had a nervous look on his face. Well, how the fuck do you know that? When this guy said this, we can't let that get out. Well, you weren't there. You never heard any of this shit said.
Well, as much as I want to shit on Trump, and as much as I probably will in the future, for the sake of these fucking heroes, saving this guy's a fucking farm, doing the right motherfucking thing. If you can't discern the right thing, your patriotism is at risk.
Actually, the more I looked into this, I gotta tell you, man, I was so pleasantly surprised. I've learned a lot this past year in the dating world, and we're going to have a different segment for that.
Here we go.
But,
segue.
Admitting that you are a Trump supporter is dating suicide.
Yes.
It's a companion. And they pull that right back up. They put on 2 pairs. They put on sweatpants on top of that.
Shit gets real tight real quick.
Yeah, real tight. Very sandy.
As it should be. But then if that's the way it should be, why aren't I being able to sell liberalism and smash all these hoes?
You got a better chance than I do.
Yeah, I think I should, but the numbers state that it's not the case. You know what? We'll save that for that conversation.
Yeah, I guess we should save that for the conversation.
Woo! These effing guys killing it again. These effing heroes.
Every week. Thanks for checking us out. Hail Rodrigo on Twitter and Instagram. These effing guys online on Instagram. Check us out.
Kitties.